So this is really the last time you see me, on stage without any girl on my shoulders, actually, I should say. We are now to the really last part, which is actually the most important, I would say, which is that ICSV26 local organizing committee would like to acknowledge all the people that made this possible. And I would start by asking Julien to come on stage. Julien has been our sponsor and exhibitors manager. He did an amazing job. He's coming from a company that is called Mechanom out of Sherbrooke. And his boss, enabled him to come here and actually support us in all the organization of the exhibition hall that you've seen, as well as the sponsorship. And I will let Julien give you a couple words on that. Not to say that he was extremely important and valuable for our conference. Thank you, Julien, for your hard work.
Well, thank you very much, Jérémie, for the introduction. Well, actually, my first words are for you and for Natalie also. I have been kind of catapulted in this project by my boss. Well, actually, it's kind of funny story. He just arrived at my office one day and he said, "Hey, Julian, there is this big conference in Montreal in a couple months. And we're going to participate, And, well, you're going to be the exhibition manager. So just call Jérémie and he's going to explain you what to do." So that's quite about the only discussion, one of the only discussion I had with Nordin about it. But fortunately, I was able to team up with Jérémie and Natalie. And actually, you guys were amazing to work with. And I really appreciate that. You're well organized and very efficient people. So really, I think we did a great job on this. Yeah, and so thanks to you and to Frank also, that I know did a very good job. So, well, I think they deserve really a round of applause. Yeah, thank you very much. Also, I have a few words for my team at Mechanom. I'm really lucky. We have a very, very good team, and especially my assistant, Stephanie. She probably sent thousands of emails for this conference without mentioning all the phone calls. So she's unfortunately not there tonight, but I'm sure she's hearing the word that I've said to her. Yeah, I would probably be hanging in a closet right now without her. So yeah, thanks, Stephanie. And of course, I would also like to thank our sponsor. Of course, maybe we can. Yeah. Plytech and Comsol. So yeah, probably it's because of us that you have supper tonight. So, yeah, it takes a lot of money to organize such a big congress. So it's very important. The support is very important for the event, and as well as all the exhibitors that were there. I hope you guys had a few minutes to go and visit them. Of course, they're there to present their product and eventually sell them, but they are also really nice people, passionate by acoustic. We all share this passion, so they are very interesting people to talk with. I hope you guys enjoy the expo. So I won't take any more of your time. Thank you very much, and I hope everybody had a great congress. I wish you all success in your research, and well, hopefully we'll meet again next year in Prague.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you very much, Julien. That was really an impressive job and a very fun to work with you too. I agree. So the next, I would say, musketeer in that whole story is obviously our technical and scientific chair, Franck Sgard. So I would invite him to join me on stage. And Frank has been obviously very connected to all of you for the submission of your abstracts. He has been reading all of your articles, he said, at least. And that was definitely very, a large effort and very strengthful work. So thank you, Frank, for doing this with such sharp eyes and goodwill. So thanks for that.
Thank you, Jérémie. I will start by saying that what an adventure. So over the years, I've often participated in ICSV either as a speaker or as a chairman. So when Jérémie contacted me early 2017 to find out if I was interested in presenting with him the general chair, the candidacy of Montreal in 2099 for ICSV26 as ICSV scientific chair, I really felt honored and delighted to have the opportunity to host the conference in this beautiful city of Montreal. I guess you all agree with me that Montreal is very nice. And honestly, I was a little bit preoccupied when, by the magnitude of the task, because I'd already organized a smaller conference in 2005, the first edition of the Symposium on the Acoustical Poroelastic Materials in France, Lyon. But knowing Jérémie's energy and enthusiasm, I thought, well, let's go. So in July 2017, the IAV board accepted that ICSV26 be held in Montreal. In July 2018, Jérémie and I participated in the ICSV25 in Hiroshima, Japan, to present the progress of the organization of ICSV26 to the board of the IAV. Our stay in Hiroshima was quite an adventure, because it was the time when a typhoon made Hiroshima inaccessible for several days. So roads were cut off because of the floodings. So for my part, I was lucky because I was able to join the conference venue from the airport, thanks to a reckless Japanese taxi driver and fellow Americans who spoke a little Japanese. But I must say it was the longest taxi ride of my life, with a 7-hour ride to travel 50 kilometers and a $700 bill. Jérémie, meanwhile, was stuck in Osaka because the Shinkansen Railroad was also closed. But he managed to make it 2 hours before the board of the IAV meeting on the Sunday of the Congress, to which we had to make the presentation. So I must admit I was a little bit stressed. But we really enjoyed our stay in Hiroshima. So being the technical chair of this conference was also an opportunity for me to promote the Canadian acoustic and vibration community through the local organizing committee. I realized that acoustics and vibration were much more strongly represented in Montreal and more generally in Quebec and Canada than I thought. Multiple disciplines are tackled by universities, research centers, and Canadian industries, ranging from musical acoustics to noise and vibrations of transportation, aeroacoustics, mechatronics, community and environmental noise, architectural and building acoustics, biomedical application of acoustics, noise and vibration in the workplace, nonlinear vibrations, audiology, acoustic imaging, and so on and so on. I could continue for minutes. Also, I'm very grateful to the IRSST for allowing me to, and several of my IRSST colleagues working on noise in the workplace and on the vibrations of the human body, to devote work time to the organization of this Congress. I also thank the IRSST for making available the IRSST Communication Department resources and for having agreed to fund a special prize for the best student papers related to noise and vibration in the field of occupational health and safety. I would also like to thank warmly all the team area chairs and the session chairs that participated in the scientific organization, as well as the people who took the role of reviewers for the evaluation of peer-reviewed papers. All have been effective in rush periods for the acceptance of abstracts and full papers, as well as in the evaluation of peer-reviewed papers and the development of the technical program. Thanks also to the 6 plenary speakers, so Raymond Panton, Robert Parker, Megan Clayards, Bilong Liu, Rupert Thornley Taylor, and Guillaume Hayat for agreeing to present their work to ICSV26. And I would also like to give a special thanks to Natalie, our secretary, who was the cornerstone of this adventure, the resource person who contributed to the logistics as well as the management of the website and the replies to millions of emails, and also to the realization of the technical program. So I would, I don't know where she is. And also want to thank Julien from Econom, who was in charge of the organization for the exhibition. And finally, I will also thank Jérémie, of course, for giving me this opportunity, and also all the presenters who came from all over the world and make this conference a success. The high scientific level of their presentation helped to enhance the brilliance and the impact of this event. And here we are today, 2 years and a half after Jérémie asked me to be a scientific chair of ICSV26. I must say that I'm very proud of what we have achieved. Thank you very much.
Shake that. All right, that's very, very true. And so last part is a little bit of my thanks as well for the scientific committee. I think Frank covered that very well. And well, this is his slide. I will just acknowledge that we had volunteers on the floor. So thank you for the volunteers. They are undergrads or graduated students from all the local universities, and as well as secondary pupils from the school. And I'd like to acknowledge our two main support from the IRSST again and the Canadian Acoustical Association, giving us really all their support, and not to omit obviously the IIV that was really trustful in all this adventure. So thank you for trusting in us. The organizing committee, I think that's clear that we have a lot of intentional members that were really helpful. When we had questions, we can reach them through emails, and they were quite responsive. We had all those people, I won't have time to list them, but they are on the website, acknowledged, and again, we are thankful for their support. Our local organizing committee is really those key people that you see on screen, and I think you heard from everybody, Frank, obviously Julien, you saw Vera Ganisheva, who was helping us on the floor and for the volunteers program. But the person I'd like to acknowledge now really and recognize is Nathalie. So there is a reason for that, and I would ask Nathalie to come on stage if she's around and paying attention to what I'm saying. Because for some of you who do not know, she's here, okay, excellent. So for those of you who did not realize, Nathalie happens to be my wife. And so, you know, the saying goes as, behind every successful man there is a woman. And actually, in that case, I think this is really that we have a successful conference. This is what I take as a credit. But it's more that she was beside me. And I think that she's really a great woman. So I think those are the two edits I would do on that sentence. And just for that, Nathalie, I would like to really thank you. That was awesome to work with you. And, it's a little bit like our wedding, except that you've been even more involved into the organization than ever. So, I mean, it's very different. So we have a little token of appreciation coming from the staff and all the volunteers who signed up.
Thank you very much. Yes, I know that.
Avance. And this is now picture time, so we'll take one with Nathalie. Ben vas-y, le vert, toi. All right. And it's picture time for everybody. So everybody who was actually named and involved in this organization, I'd like you to come closer to the stage. We'll have a group picture. This is a surprise for our photographer, Felix. Thank you, Felix. And we'll keep that as a memory. So please, Frank, Julien, all the IAV people and ICSV local organizing committee, come up to the stage. We'll group and have this as a memory. And you guys can eat desserts if you don't feel that you've been involved, but thank you very much for your support all the way.
Yeah, sure.
You have to get down.
And Maria probably, if you can pull her out.
Call her name.
There are some people missing here. Margarita, where are you hiding? Come on, come on. She's over there, I know her spot.
What? One last thank you to Jérémie, Franck, Natalie and Julian for putting on such a wonderful Congress. I hope your example of the circus performer, that we won't have to do that next year, but it's past the normal duty. So thank you again.